The first right is equality. We are all born free and equal. The moment we are born, we are given the right to life, liberty, and rights. We should understand the feeling of equality and promote it with the people around us. This means that we must stand up against any form of discrimination or injustice, and that everyone has the right to enjoy their fundamental rights. The second right is discrimination. Freedom from discrimination means giving everyone in the society the right to equal opportunities and respect. The fight against discrimination can take place as a judge, teacher, or as an ordinary citizen. We should follow the standards of justice and equality with all classes, castes, religions, genders, and other traditions in the society. In building a harmonious society, every individual should have the opportunity to believe in her abilities and skills without any discrimination. The third right is right to life. The right to life is a fundamental right of every person. This right is important for all human beings as a means of equality and enhancement of life. The right to life gives them the right to live a safe and healthy life, including access to food, drink, shelter, health services, and security. At the same time, this right also gives them the right to protect other rights, such as the right to thought, religion, and freedom. The right to life is linked to the values of justice, equality, and human harmony, and every member of society has the right to exercise it with dignity and security. The fourth right is slavery. Freedom from slavery is the vital right of every person to personal and social liberty. Slavery is an extremely unjust and inhumane practice, which takes away a person's freedom and self-respect. To end slavery, society must adhere to standards of harmony, justice, and equality. This means that every person should have equal opportunities and equal rights, and should join the fight against any form of slavery or oppression. To break free from slavery, society must promote means of prosperity, education, and equality so that every individual can achieve his or her full potential. The fifth right is torture. Freedom from torture means freedom for a person from any kind of suffering, oppression, or injustice. For this, it is important to follow the standards of justice, respect, and humanity in the society. The sixth right is recognition. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law, regardless of whether they are citizens or immigrants, students or tourists, workers or refugees, or any other group. The seventh right is justice. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. The eighth right is remedy. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by competent national tribunals for acts that violate the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution or by law. The ninth right is liberty. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. The 10th right is fair trial. Everyone has the right to a fair and public hearing. This hearing must be conducted by an impartial and independent tribunal, court, or legal authority. The purpose of this hearing is to determine a person's rights and obligations. It also applies to the determination of any criminal charges against the person. This right to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal applies equally to everyone. The 11th right is innocent. If someone is charged with a crime, penal offense, they are presumed innocent until proven guilty. They have the right to a public trial, where they have all the guarantees necessary for their defense. This includes due process and a fair trial. The guilt must be proven beyond reasonable doubt. Otherwise, they are considered not guilty. This principle upholds the rule of law. It prevents ex post facto, retroactive laws that criminalize actions that were legal when committed. You cannot be held guilty for an act or omission that was not a penal offense at the time. It also ensures fair punishment, where the penalty imposed cannot be heavier than what was applicable at the time of the offense. The 12th right is privacy. Your home, family, correspondence, emails, letters, privacy, and honor reputation are protected. You cannot be subjected to arbitrary, unreasonable, or unjustified interference with these aspects. You also cannot be subjected to attacks on your honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to legal protection against such interference or attacks. The 13th right is movement. Within the borders of a state, country, people are free to move around freely. They can also change their residence and live in different places within the state. This freedom of movement and choice of residence applies to everyone. It is a recognized right. For any country in the world, people have the right to leave that country. They also have the right to return to that country. This includes the right to leave and return to one's own country. This freedom of movement across borders applies to everyone. It is a recognized right. The 14th right is asylum. In other countries, not one's own, people have the right to seek asylum, refuge. They can request asylum. This is to escape persecution, oppression, harm, or mistreatment. This right to seek asylum from persecution applies to everyone. It is a recognized right. The right to asylum cannot be invoked, used in certain cases. If someone is genuinely prosecuted, facing legal charges for non-political crimes, they cannot claim asylum. If someone has committed acts contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations, they cannot claim asylum. However, asylum can still be sought and granted in cases of genuine persecution. The 15th right is nationality. Every person has the right to have a nationality, citizenship of a country. For a person's existing nationality, it cannot be taken away arbitrarily without a fair and justified reason. They also have the right to change their nationality. This right to change nationality is allowed. The 16th right is marriage. Men and women of full age have the right to marry and found a family. They cannot face limitations or discrimination based on race, nationality, or religion. They are entitled to equal rights before marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. Divorce. This is a recognized right. For a marriage to be valid, there must be full consent from both people getting married. Their consent must be given freely, without any coercion or force. The family unit is considered the natural and fundamental group unit of society. As such, it is entitled to protection and support from society, people, communities, from the state, government, laws. The 17th right is property. Property can refer to things like houses, cars, money, land, etc. Everyone has the right to own property individually, alone. Everyone also has the right to own property in association with others. This right to own property is recognized. Regarding someone's property, they cannot be arbitrarily, unreasonably, or unjustly deprived of it. This protection against arbitrary deprivation of property is a right. The 18th right is religion. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, freedom to think freely, conscience, freedom of belief or non-belief. Religion. This includes the freedom to change one's religion and the freedom to manifest, practice, express one's religion through, individually, in community with others, in private, in public teaching, practice, worship, observance. The 19th right is expression. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion, hold opinions without interference. No one can stop you from thinking what you want. Expression. This includes the freedom to seek information and ideas, receive information and ideas, impart, share information and ideas. These freedoms apply through any media, TV, newspapers, radio, internet, etc. And regardless of frontiers, borders don't matter. The 20th right is assembly. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly, gather with others, express views together in a peaceful manner, association, join groups, clubs, unions, etc., form organizations, connect globally. No one can be forced to join an association. It's an individual choice. You can choose to join, you can choose not to join. This freedom of choice is a right. The 21st right is participation. Everyone has the right to take part in the government directly, e.g., voting in referendums. Through representatives, these representatives must be freely chosen. Everyone has the right of equal access to public service in their country. The will of the people is the basis of government authority, expressed through periodic elections. Universal suffrage, all adults can vote. Secret ballot, privacy in voting. Free voting procedures. The 22nd right is social security. Everyone as a member of society has the right to social security, protection from hardships, the right to realization of economic, social, and cultural rights, economic rights, jobs, fair wages, social rights, healthcare, housing, education, cultural rights. These rights are realized through national effort, government policies, international cooperation, global teamwork, based on state organization, how the country is run, state resources, what the country can afford. These rights are indispensable, absolutely necessary for dignity-free development of personality. The 23rd right is work. Everyone has the right to work, free choice of employment, just and favorable work conditions, protection against unemployment. Everyone, without discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. Everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, pay, ensuring a life of dignity for self and family, supplemented by social protection if needed. Everyone has the right to form and join trade unions to protect their interests. The 24th right is leisure. Everyone has rights. These rights include rest and leisure. Rest includes reasonable limitation of work working hours. Reasonable means not too long or demanding. Leisure includes periodic holidays. Periodic means regular intervals, like yearly. These holidays are with pay. The 25th right is standard of living. Right to adequate standard of living. Everyone has the right to a standard of living that ensures health and family well-being. This includes basic needs, food, housing, clothing, medical care, necessary social services, protection, security, in case of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, other circumstances beyond control, special protection for mothers and children. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children have equal social protection, regardless of parents' marital status. The 26th right is education. Right to education. Everyone has the right to education. Education should be free, at least in elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education is compulsory. Technical and professional education should be generally available. Higher education should be equally accessible to all, based on merit. Purpose of education. Education aims for full development of human personality. It strengthens respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It promotes global understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, religious groups, racial groups. It furthers UN activities for peace maintenance. Parents' rights. Parents have a prior right to choose the type of education for their children. The 27th right is culture. Right to participate in culture and science. Everyone has the right to participate in the cultural life of the community. This could mean local festivals, traditions, etc. Enjoy the arts. Freely access and enjoy arts like music, painting, theater, share in scientific advancement, be part of and benefit from scientific progress, enjoy the benefits of scientific advancements, have access to and share scientific knowledge, right to protection of intellectual property. If someone is an author, creator of literary work, books, poems, artistic work, paintings, music, scientific work, research papers, inventions, they have the right to protection of their moral interests, being recognized as the creator. Material interests, financial benefits from their work. This protection is guaranteed by law. The 28th right is community. Everyone, all people, no matter where they are. Universal Declaration of Human Rights sets out basic rights for all. Full realization. These rights should be fully enjoyed, not just on paper. To achieve this, we need a global order that includes social order, how society is organized within countries; international order, how countries interact and cooperate. These orders need to be strong and supportive of rights. They should ensure things like education rights, health rights, peace, no war, justice, fair laws, economic rights, international cooperation. The 29th right is responsibilities. Duties to community. Every individual has duties to contribute to their community, because only within a community can one achieve personal development that is free and full limitations on rights. Everyone's rights and freedoms are subject only to limitations determined by law. These limits are solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for others' rights, maintaining public order, ensuring general welfare, all within a democratic society. UN principles. The United Nations stands for peace, cooperation, justice. No one's rights and freedoms can be exercised in a way that goes against these principles. The 30th right is peace. Universal Declaration of Human Rights sets out basic rights and freedoms for all. These rights and freedoms are precious and must be upheld. The Declaration does not give any right to destroy these rights. These rights are protected from states, governments, groups, organizations, collectives, individuals, single persons. No one has the right to engage in activities, perform acts that aim to destroy any of the rights and freedoms in the Declaration.